Hello, everybody. Evan Lazar for CLNS Media here, and today we are going to break down 3 Patriots fits that stood out at the Senior Bowl down in Mobile this week so far. And as we know, the Patriots, big fans of the Senior Bowl. Since 2008, Bill Belichick has drafted 49 players that participated in the Senior Bowl each year. That's 3.5 per draft class that participated down in Mobile following their senior season in collegiate football. Mac Jones, Rhamondre Stevenson, and Joshuah Bledsoe from last year's rookie class all participated down in Mobile. So here are 3 targets for the Patriots that stood out to me watching Senior Bowl practices over the last couple of days. I want to start on the defensive line with a nose tackle, a 6'4", 326-pound defensive lineman out of the University of Connecticut. Yes, a local guy, Travis Jones, who has really stood out in one-on-one drills between the offensive and defensive lines as a pass rusher. You would normally think of a nose tackle as a run stuffer, and that is definitely where Jones makes his money. But if he can add value on passing downs, he becomes a much more coveted player in the draft come April. When you watch his tape, especially last season against Clemson, some good competition there, obviously, and he was able to hold his ground at the line of scrimmage, defeat single blocks, take on multiple blockers, keep blocks occupied, and keep the second level of the UConn defense clean. And as I mentioned at Senior Bowl practices, standing out in one-on-one drills with his pass rush moves, his speed to power bull rush, walking interior offensive linemen right back into the quarterback. And he also has some nifty hand usage and other counters that he'll use with his powerful hands to get underneath and around offensive linemen. So Travis Jones, the defensive tackle, of course, nose tackle from the University of Connecticut, certainly somebody that stood out to me on the first 2 days of Senior Bowl practices. And the Patriots could use a true nose tackle in the middle of their defensive line. They haven't had a guy that can really be sturdy in the middle of that line consistently since maybe Danny Shelton in recent years, but probably going all the way back to guys like Alan Branch and Vince Wilfork. So that will be something I will look forward to this draft, to see if the Patriots look to take a nose tackle some point in the first couple of days in the 2022 draft. Now I want to go into the back end of the defense. In the secondary, mainly cornerback. We saw towards the end of last season when injuries and COVID issues started to pile up for the Patriots that their cornerback depth maybe wasn't where we wanted it to be. J.C. Jackson, a free agent this offseason. I would expect him to at least get tagged and maybe stick around on a long-term deal in the future. But you got to pair Jackson with a good outside corner. That would also allow Jalen Mills to be freed up a little bit to play that rover role where it can play a little safety, a little bit of corner, inside, outside, and have more flexibility on the back end with another sturdy outside presence. So at the University of Cincinnati, they have 2 really good corners in this year's draft. Obviously, Amon Gardner is a first-round consensus top 10, 15 talent. But on the other side, the player that's been standing out at the Senior Bowl is COBY BRYANT, another long, athletic, physical press man coverage corner that has really good ball skills and has made some great plays on the ball during one-on-one drills over the last few days. Today, a late pass breakup, did a really nice job of playing the receiver's hands and getting the ball out late when it looked like the receiver was going to catch the pass. COBY BRYANT can do a little bit of everything, and he's probably one of the best pure ball skill corners in terms of making plays on the football while it's in the air that I have seen so far in this draft class. Another top 100 guy, probably not a first round pick, maybe looking at a day 2 prospect here in the 2nd or 3rd round, but don't lose all the attention or all the hype. Allow that to go to Gardner, his teammate. On the other side of that Cincinnati defense, another good corner over there in COBY BRYANT. And third, last but not least, we got to talk about some Rutgers guys, because Greg Schiano, Bill Belichick's confidant, back at Rutgers after a few years away from the program. When Schiano was there before, that obviously led to the Devin McCourty selection, Logan Ryan, Duron Harmon, and a slew of Rutgers guys coming through New England. But I don't want to go on the defensive side. I want to move over to offense here for a second and talk about Bo Melton, who's a receiver that I wasn't too high on going into Senior Bowl week, but seeing what he can do during team drills at practice this week as a ball carrier, end arounds, jet motion, horizontally stretching the defense, and then also playing out of the slot and returning kicks. A player that might not run quite as fast as Isaiah McKenzie in Buffalo, but might give you some inclination of that kind of skill set that Isaiah McKenzie brings to the Bills offense. Today in team drills, Melton taking a jet sweep, breaking a few tackles, and busting open for a huge gain. That was a play that stood out to me watching practice here today. So you want to look at some of these players in the draft at the wide receiver position that can add some speed and add some horizontal stretch to the defense, especially on those actions behind the line of scrimmage. Nowadays, it's just so easy to hand it off to one of those guys or throw it out to them in the flat or on a screen pass and allow them to do the hard work for the quarterback. The Patriots could really use a player like that. Day 3 guy in Bo Melton, but he's making some headway here at the Senior Bowl, and maybe he'll be somebody that will be on the Patriots radar coming from Rutgers and Greg Schiano. So there you have it, 3 players that have stood out for the Patriots already in the first couple days here at the Senior Bowl: Travis Jones, COBY, BRYANT, and Bo Melton. We'll have more recaps of practice on Thursday at the Senior Bowl, and for the game on Saturday afternoon, make sure to keep it right here on Patriots Press Pass and on CLNSmedia.com for more reaction and coverage from the 2022 Senior Bowl. I'm Evan Lazar for CLNS Media. Thanks for watching.